Good morning, or should I say happy brunch time. Working in a nightclub tonight, so I thought I'd sleep in. But let me show you the morning routine when I'm on the boat. So what I do the night before is I put my clothes down here ready for today, because there is a hot outlet here for when I put the diesel heater on. So when I first wake up, I go over here, I put the diesel heater on, and I switch the battery charger off because I had solar. Once the diesel heater's on, I'll then go over here where the dehumidifier is and I'll press it on. And then what I tend to do is I go back to bed and I wait for about 15 minutes for it to heat up. Or if I want to get out of bed straight away, I'll put the fan heater on. So there's two ways I stay warm. One is with the electric fan heater. The other one is with the diesel heater. So the diesel heater is more efficient and gives nicer air, but combined it takes maybe 10 minutes to heat the whole boat up. Now my fridge uses a lot of energy because it's not working correctly, and since it's so cold in the winter, I actually use the cool box to keep the milk in. So here we go. So it's still cold. It's been in here for about 3 days. I mean, we're getting highs of 9 degrees this week. But I mean, I've only been here for 2 days. And this is the famous coffee machine. So it goes on tour with me, goes in the car and everything. As you see, I'm always ready to go. Since it travels around, you can see this is meant to have a tray here to hold your cups, and also it's meant to have a plastic bit on the top. Alright, one of the next things I'll do is I'll do a little job hunt. Since I'm only working 3 days this month and I kind of really need to get something in, it's been a very, very slow year. I was actually hoping to go abroad January, February, March and April, ditch the winter weather here, which is what I used to do before the boat. Not long become single as well, so basically sitting on my hands for a lot of the time, which is not great because I want to really be distracted. But yeah, I have a little job hunt. At the top of my web browser, I've got a lot of the agencies that I use, so I'll literally just go through one by one and see what there is. Then I'll look on the Facebook groups to see if there's anything like last minute that's come in, and then I'll then email them to see what the score is. But I mean, I've sent out 2 emails last week, which I've got 140 emails on that list from the 40 different agencies that I work for. And usually I go, if I'm over here where the boat is, I'll say like, oh yeah, I'm available over in this area, if not here, then over in Bristol, which tends to have a lot of work. It's kind of in the middle of where I am to where Birmingham is, which is where I mostly live, and then go from there. So, and then if I'm over in Birmingham, I'll just try and focus as much work on there and then come back. So I mostly came back to the boat this week because of the social gathering. Let's just say I was so social that I went out on the Saturday night, came back in, and then I didn't wake up until Sunday at 5 p.m. So yeah, very social occasion. And then also my car as well. So it's the mechanic. I really need it to be done by the end of today because I need to drive to Bristol, because I can't work in a nightclub and finish at 3 o'clock in the morning and wait around till what, 6, 7 in the morning to get the train back. It'll be expensive and a nightmare as well. So yeah, here we go. All right, so the job that I do is for agencies is literally I do a mixture of like building stands. I'll do road shows where the companies pay for hotels. I'll run like teams and things. You know, when you see people giving away free stuff like Coca-Cola in the street, I'll do stuff like that. Around Christmas time, which is now, I'd usually be selling like activity days or like the coffee machines or something. But this year it's like there's none of that really happening, which is very frustrating because, as I said, I want to go away. I'm itching to get away. I've not been on holiday in many years. I mean, I've done a bit of sailing, not as much as I wanted to do, mostly because of the financial situation. And if you've watched my other videos about my accident and the finance side of that afterwards, you'll understand why I've not been off. Hopefully next year I'll be able to go off for a good, at least a month somewhere. But yeah, I'm just really hoping to get on some work at the moment. So yeah, let's focus on that. So I do the agency work because it's different all the time. So I worked 4 different shows last month, 4 very different ones. So I actually filmed one of them, which was at the Classic Motor Show. So I was basically selling tickets there, and then I went around on the last hour of the show and just went around and filmed. So I got a few of the highlights there, and I kind of did a voiceover of what I liked about the show, because it is a good show. I worked at a good food show recently as well, where I was just air frying chips. I literally scanned people in at the exhibits for the motor show and caravan, I think it was called. That was a good 6 days, again at the NEC. So I've done a lot of good shows over there. Did advanced engineering, and I actually seen a guy from Tang Tools. So I used their tools actually, and they gave me a free hat. So yeah. That was pretty good for them. But yeah, let's get cracking on. All right, this is how much of a desert it is. So there we go, Saturday, December. There's one job available, but I'm already working. So this platform here actually uses multiple agencies, so about 7 of them that I'm with use this. So this is a different agency here, and this is a different agency. And then look, there we go, 24th, 25th and 26th of January, that is. There we go, Excel, Centre, London, 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 nowhere near me. So yeah, that's the joys of this year, basically. A lot of companies are just doing in-house stuff themselves rather than getting third-party people. So literally all year round, worked 2-3 days, and I've had loads of jobs cancelled as well, frustratingly. Alright, so diesel heater off. We've got 96% batteries. Let's just cycle down. Let's see if the sun is giving us anything. So we're getting 2 amps, which means I'm going to switch my laptop from the shore power over to my magic plug over here, and then try not to spill the coffee at the same time. Plug it in. So this is my inverter, so I'm going to be running the laptop off the batteries for now. There we go, so we're all plugged in. Now I just got a message back from the mechanic, so it's been an expensive day already. And then if we have a little look at the weather, so usually after a job hunt I try and base what my week's going to be like. So as you can see, it's going to get more of a chance of raining as we go along, so I'm going to go collect the car now. I'm also going to go fill up the diesel tank of the boat, so I'm actually just going to jerry can it because it is a bit windy at the moment for myself. But I'm also going to have a little look. So here we go, heavy rain, gust. So as part of my little kind of making sure I'm okay for a few days is I'll check the water tanks. So I have 300 litres of water. So I filled up yesterday, so I'm only down about 30-40 litres, so I should be okay. But yeah, let's go fill up. And for the electricity, here we go. So I'm on 157 units right now. I'm gonna go stick in 20 quid. Okay, so my boat holds a total of 140 litres. But we're already halfway there anyway. So in the winter, it's better to keep your fuel tanks full to stop condensation, because what can happen is you get condensation forming on the tank, goes into the fuel, and then you end up with water sitting at the bottom. And as you start sailing around, you end up mixing fuel, water together, and then you can have your engine cut off. You also can have bacteria growing in there. So usually I put something called Marine 10, which is a diesel bug killer, and I'll add it into a jerry can first, just a teaspoonful really, and then I'll throw it in there, So I have two types of tanks. So this one, the metal jerry can, is one of the first ones I brought. It is metal, but they can rust inside. So I actually brought one of these things, Skepta. But yeah, they've actually got their little fuel cap inside. I actually brought the water version of this as well because the tanks had frozen 1 year. But yeah, basically you have your own fuel whole thing. There we go. You just flip it round, tighten it, and then you can just dump it in. So this one first. So while gravity is doing its thing and filling the tanks, this is one solar panel that I have. This is a 170 watt one. This one is 175, and so is this one here. My water hose pipe goes there. But basically the sun here, this marina, comes from here, goes along there, so where it is right now, and settles down there. So it takes a little bit of a while for you to get it at the end of the day. But this solar setup is not enough for me, especially using the gaming laptop. What I do want is something like a solar arch, like the guy over there has. And then my buddy next door has just had a solar arch. So I'm looking to have the same thing added on mine, so I can add more panels, like over the top. So I'll be changing the solar panels to slightly bigger ones as well. But I'll probably keep this top one, but get it sewn in properly. Because at the moment, the guy who did a little panel, solar panel pocket, we'll call it, didn't do a very good job, to be honest. And this one will probably stay as well. So people do have their life raft sometimes put on there, but basically you can't really see anyway. So if I look over here, sorry about the wind guys, if I look over here from the helm, because my draw point is there, you can't really see too much. So imagine having a box on the deck, which is going to go up to about here. You just wouldn't be able to see the front. Alright, so I don't have the hose attachment on the other one. So what I tend to do is I'll lift it up on this side and rest it against the guardrails. And then I've got the siphoning tube, just got a little ball in. So what I'll do is I'll straighten this out a little bit. It's a fairly semi-rigid pipe here, so it's a bit cold as well, so hard to play with. So what I'll do is I'll put the tube in first, quite far down, and then if I wiggle this, you can see the red diesel coming through. There we go. There's a building over there, you probably can't see it. Lift dogs home. So, because I don't really live anywhere full time and I really like dogs, I actually take them out for a walk from time to time. So I'm going to do a bit of a Bay Area tour, and I'll take a dog with me. So, but yeah, it's just very rewarding really. They melt my little icy heart. But yeah, I think you might be able to see it here actually. Yeah, there we go. It's that building over there. So, but yeah, you can really tell the dogs that have come from abused backgrounds because they walk out the gate with you and they sit down because they don't obviously trust you, versus the other ones. Because I mean, you get a bit of a mixture of backgrounds with the dogs. So some of them have you know, are strays, some of them have been bred specifically to sell puppies, and then once they're too old, they're discarded. Others just come from people's situation changing. For instance, they can't afford the medical bills anymore, or they came from, say, an old lady's home who's passed away. So you do get a mix there, but I'll tell you a bit more on another video about it. Alright, so this is what I do when I leave the boat. So just double check the start battery is off and the lights in the back cabins are all off, which they are here and are here. I do leave the doors open just for a little bit of airflow. Oiled cast iron. I leave the fridge open a little jar, just double check to make sure nothing's open. There we go. And then sink empty and clean inside. I'll be packing away the machine in a minute, but that's the bit that I lost, and this bit as well. So it's not the way it looks. Looking good. And then just before I leave the boat, so if you got the red light on, it says on, means it's off. So I'll turn them off. So these are the lights, the water pumps, so I'm not going to be washing up, so that'll be off. AC plugs off, battery charger for the shore power is going to be off, and I'm also going to turn the water heater off. I'm also going to unplug the shore power as well. Lights are off in the V-berth. I've just took all the bedding off because I don't know whether I'll be 5 days or 5 weeks. And then for the bathroom, I'll leave the door open. There's a little bit of string here. And what I'll do is with the toilet, I'll put some fresh water in from the hose. So that'll go here. I'll pump out the water like so, and then I'll keep pumping until there's only fresh water. So on my boat I've got a C flush toilet, which means when I have this dial over here, water from the outside comes in and it kind of circulates within the bowl, so it goes out. So seawater comes in, anything in here goes out. So I don't want to leave the river water stagnant inside, so I'll just put the fresh water through. And then what I'll do is the seacocks in here, I'll close them just like I would do it on here for the sink. Now if it's in line like this one is now, that means it's open, and that means it's closed. So apparently if your boat sinks while you're away and you've left the shore the seacocks open, it can void your insurance. I don't know how true that is, and I'll check the engine one last time. So seacock there is closed. Got a little bit of condensation from there, but yeah, no leaks really there. But I'll be servicing the engine in a few weeks time. I'll probably change these pipes out as well because they're looking a bit dated, and who knows where I'll go with it. Maybe I'll change the charger, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'll do this time around. Okay, now the seacocks are all closed in here. Just double checking. This is over here. I've got something called a Yachticon, which keeps the bowl clean. However, what happens is when you've got the water, like the outdoor water in the pipeline, you'll get bacteria growth. So as it comes through, basically it will get stuck inside the pipes, and when you flush it through for the first time after a good few weeks, it will smell like rotten eggs. So yeah, you just keep pumping through, the smell will go away. You can buy a little device that you can keep it clean. The only hatch that I leave open is this one, and I'll leave it just on open a little bit, which is like this one, little catches, so there's a little gap, but air can get through. But then I'll go around and check the rest before I go. Just double checking. Yeah, that one's closed and locked. So on these, you can just open them, and then this is the kind of lock in the middle. And then I keep all the curtains and the blinds closed because you can get UV damage on the woodwork. So for example, if you look on this beam here, there's a little bit of a patch here, so I did revarnish this, but originally I got a load of this had worn away from basically the sun that comes through here. And yeah, it is winter, so it's been cold. I'm just experimenting really with this. I will also turn off the inverter, because you have something called a ghost load, I think people call it. But that's my inverter there. It is a heavy duty one. Links distributor, and then these are the solar chargers. So I'm going to turn this, which will turn the inverter off. So the solar panels will still stay on, so they will charge the house bank while I'm away. But what I did is I actually put my starter battery here in the cupboard, and then underneath here I've got 2 batteries here and then 2 on the other side in the other berth. Alright, going to wrap this video up now. So the car works pretty good. It's £450 just spent on it. So I had a new exhaust and basically the DPF cleaned out again. Hopefully it won't give me any more issues. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching, and thanks very much, mate.